South Africa has slipped into absolute anarchy. It's witnessing endless riots, plunder and killings. The chaos has entered its 7th day today, but it's still not clear what is driving it. Is it the arrest of Jacob Zuma, the former president? Is it unemployment and inequality? Or is it just the thrill of being part of a destructive mob? Honestly, it's very hard to tell at the moment. The mobilization has taken a life of its own. The lines between who's the victim and who's not are blurring. Today, a teenager was killed in Johannesburg, a 14-year-old boy. He was shot in the back of his head. What's worse, this boy was part of a mob trying to loot a mall. He was shot dead by a group of taxi operators who were trying to chase away the looters. So what will you call it? Vigilante justice? Perhaps these images will help you decide. They're from a place called Vosloorus in the country's north. People have taken the law in their hands here. They have hit the streets armed with guns and baseball bats. They're beating and rounding up people suspected of taking part in looting. Suspected. Look at this.
What's the name of your company?
In some places, the fear of mob justice is so much that the looters have started returning stolen goods. No kidding here. Look at these visuals. They're from a slum in Johannesburg. People are packing their loot on trailers for the police to take them away. Why did they steal in the first place? Because they saw others stealing and did not want to be left behind. I'm not the one saying this. They are.
I stole a few things like cold drinks and electrical stuff, as well as some paint. I guess the real reason is because we have nothing. And when you see the other people stealing, at some point you realize that shops will close and you will be left with absolutely nothing.
People were running around causing chaos and then saying they have no food, so they're going to get some. So I also did the same. I stole food, I won't even lie.
That is not to say that the realization has kicked in everywhere. In Durban, for instance, nothing has changed. There was a traffic jam near a warehouse today because looters turned up in cars. And it's hard to say if they own these cars, but they did stack them up with goods, liquor, electronics and clothes. Now, I have some figures to share. At least 72 people have died since the unrest began. More than 1,200 people have been arrested. According to the government of South Africa, there were 208 incidents of looting and vandalism on Wednesday alone. 800 retail shops were looted on the same day. At least 5,000 troops have been deployed and 25,000 more will be deployed by the end of this week. The government has also released the first estimates of the damage done. The last 6 days have led to a loss of stock worth 1.5 billion rand. That's more than $100 million US. The damage to property and equipment is estimated to be 15 billion rand. That's more than $1 billion US. More than 50,000 informal traders have been affected. More than 40,000 businesses hit. Most of them may be unable to function again. A total of 129,000 jobs are at risk. And 1.5 million people are at home with no income due to this unrest. Yesterday, we told you how some Indians reached out to us saying that they're facing the worst of this, how their businesses are being attacked, and there's a threat to their lives. A lot of them have been reaching out to WION. We spoke to Amit Shivaji More. He is the president of the Indian Association of South Africa. He told us about the extent of the impact on the Indian community.
Obviously, because of this looting and vandalization, the businesses have been severely affected, and people are actually instigating, the mobs. So for the political benefits, and because of that, some groups are actually targeting the Indian people, and then they're trying to make it like a racial war, which is not a fact. It's a political war, and because of the situation and instigation, it is becoming like a racial war.
On Wednesday, the External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, dialed his South African counterpart, Dr. Naledi Pandor. The MEA Secretary, one of the secretaries, Sanjay Bhattacharya, met with the South African High Commissioner to India today. The focus of both these interactions was the safety and security of the Indian community. The South African side, we're told, has said that these attacks are criminal in nature, not politically motivated. They've assured New Delhi that they're doing their best to enforce law and order, and that the situation will improve soon. Of course, we'll keep track of these engagements and the evolving situation. Until then, if you're in South Africa and have a story to share, you can reach out to WION and we'll try to make your voice heard. Stay safe. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.